Let us see simple analogy to understand array destructuring. There is a classroom in which students have just completed their practical exams. Now they are preparing for their Viva. I am sure people who are watching this video, they are aware of Viva exam, in which teacher will be asking oral questions to students, and according to their preparation they will be answering to teacher. So now here what happens? Teacher will be calling to student based on their roll numbers. Sometimes it is possible that they will be calling by their name, but most probably whenever we give any Viva exam, they will be calling by our roll number. Roll number 1, roll number 2, and it keeps on going. One by one, based on the roll number, student will come, they will give their Viva exam, and according to that, they will be getting their marks. Now suppose imagine, now here I am having two students who are present and they have given their Viva, but the third student is absent. So in attendance sheet, teacher has marked as A. So once the student is absent, what teacher will be doing? Teacher will be going to the first student, he will be calling the student, and she will take the Viva for this first student. So one by one, teacher will be calling. If the student is absent, she is just going to mark as A. So basically what she is doing, she is just creating one hole, she is leaving one space. Later on, if the student is willing to give the Viva exam, in most schools it happens, if the student is absent, they will be reconducting the exam. So that student can come and that student can easily give the exam. So what happened? One by one she is calling, and if student is not there, she is just marking as A. She is just creating one hole. After that, she is moving to the next roll number. So now what we have seen, hole will be left inside this one, and also Viva has to be done in order. One by one, student has to give their Viva based on the roll numbers. Okay, I hope everybody will relate to this if you have done the Viva exam. Now this entire process we are going to apply in our array destructuring. So whatever we have learned, creating whole, why we have to use that one, how to extract the elements, everything we are going to learn inside this array destructuring. At any point, if you're having any doubt, you can comment down your doubts. If you're having any ideas or if you're having anything which you want to improve, you can comment down so that I will be creating separate video on that and everybody can learn together. Now practically, let us understand array destructuring. Now in our previous session, we learned about object destructuring, and here we just extracted object data. But now we are going to work with array destructuring. So I have just wrapped my entire object inside this array. Okay, similar data we have. If you have not watched object destructuring video, I suggest you to watch that so that it will be easy for you to understand array destructuring. Okay, even if you have not watched, then also you can continue with this because both are different topics. After learning this, then also you can continue with object destructuring. So as object destructuring was a part of modern JavaScript, similarly, array destructuring is also a part of modern JavaScript, and it was introduced in ECMAScript 6, that is ES6. What is array destructuring? So in JavaScript, what we will be doing, we will be extracting all the values. Okay, this is my array. Inside this, I am having only one object. So this value we are going to extract and we will be storing inside one separate variable. We are just unpacking that. You are taking one by one and you are distributing among your family members. One apple you are giving to your sister, one apple you are giving to your brother. So each and every apple is distributed among different people. Similar way, each and every element will be given separate variable. So according to that, we can display our result. And why we are using this one? As I have mentioned already, because to handle API data. Let me just write here, to deal with API data. What we are doing, we are just breaking the complex data structure into a smaller data structure like variables. Okay, now let us start with our code. Now this is my array. Inside this, I am having only one object. Inside this object, I am having multiple properties, and these numbers are random numbers I have given by myself. So do not take it as personal. These are random numbers given by myself. And this entire array of object I will be pasting in comment section. If you want to follow along with me and if you want to learn this concept, you can copy this array of object and you can start typing along with me. So now this is my array. First thing, let me just print this one. I will write here log. Inside this, I am just going to write my array name. I will save this. Now I got my array. Inside this, I am having only one element, that is my object. Now if I want to access this one, access this object, what I will be doing? I will be writing here index number 0. Here you can see clearly we have 0. So I will just write here 0. I will save this. Now I got my object. Now inside this object, I am having this arrays. Famous characters array. Inside this, I am having array elements. Now to access this, what I will be doing? First, I have accessed my object. Now to access properties inside the object, we will be using dot operator. Inside this, I am just going to write famous characters, which is nothing but it is an array. Now I will save this. Now you can see this is my object. From object, I have just accessed this array. Okay, now this is the old school way. Previously, we were doing like this before ECMAScript. Now, after array restructuring, we will not be performing this operation in this way. We are not going to write the index number. We are not going to access any data in this fashion. Now, this is the normal way. Now, inside famous character is an array. Now, to again access this first element, again what we have to do? We have to write here 0. Save this. Now, we will be getting the result. Okay, we do not want to mess up with index number. We do not want to write the code in this way. I will just comment this out. Okay, this is the normal way. So first, we will study this topic in isolation. Before using this entire example, first let us write simple example. I will just create one simple array num. Inside this, I will give some values. I will write here 500. Now I am just going to display this one. Save this. Now I got the array. Now I just want to access all the elements outside of this array. So what we have done previously, we have just used index number. Here also we can write here index number. Now we will be getting the result. Okay. So what we have done here, we have just displayed the individual elements. Okay, as I mentioned, now we are not going to do in this way. So now what we will do? We will apply the magic of ES6 and we will do array restructuring. Here I will write const. For object restructuring, we use curly braces. For array restructuring, we have to use square brackets. Square brackets represent arrays. Inside this, I will be writing any variable name. Whatever you want, you can write. First, second and third, and this should be equal to our array. Okay, whatever array we are having, that should be equal to this one. If I take an example of this array, if I give like this, then this should be equal to this array. So first, second and third. Inside this array, I am having 3 elements. So what I have done, I have just given one variable to each of the element and I am just assigning to my array. Now if I just display this one, log first, save this. Now I got the result as 100. Why I got 100? Because my first element inside the array is 100. So I will get 100. Then for second, I will be getting 200. And then for third, I will be getting 300. Okay, in order, student will be called. So similarly, in order, data will be displayed. Suppose if I don't give here first, now maybe you will think, now second will be treated as 300 and third will be treated as 500 and first 100 will be left. But it is not like that. Let me just comment this one. Now if I save, you can see now second, whatever first element we are having, that will be given to this variable. Second will be given to this one. So 500 we have just not destructured. So we can just leave as it is. Okay, in order the data will be displayed. Here whatever names you want, you can easily give here. You can give first index, main index. Okay, it completely depends on you what variables you want to give while destructuring. So this is the simple example. We are just creating array and to destructure we are just writing like this. Now this is very confusing. Here also we are telling this is array and here we are telling we have just destructured this array, but both are having square bracket. Sometimes we might confuse this is also an array, but actually it is not. Whenever we are having this square brackets on left side of this assignment group, okay, left hand side of assignment group, then we can define this as array destructuring. Okay, right hand side of assignment group, this is our array. Left hand side of assignment group, we have done destructuring, array destructuring. Now from here, if I just remove this const, save this, again I will not be having any effect. Okay, you can do that, but it is always suggested you create any variable using this const keyword. I hope you understood this example. Now we will be working with this example. This is my entire array. Let me just display this one, log. And here I will display cartoon data. Save this. I will comment it out. This is my array. Inside this, I am having only one object. Basically, I am having only one element. So what I can do? Similar way, array restructuring, only one element. I can give any name. I just want to bring that object outside of the array. I can give any name. And this will be equal to my array. And I am just going to display this data. Save this. Now you can see my data is nothing but it is element inside the array. And I am having only one element inside the array. And I have just destructured and I have just accessed that one. Now inside this object, I am having famous character, which is also an array. Now I just want to access that. Now if you clearly notice, my data is object. So now what we can do? We can do object destructuring to access my famous character. For object destructuring, we have to write this one, curly braces. While we are doing object destructuring, our property name should be exactly matching with this one. Now this will be equal to our data. Okay, do not get confused. Data. Now I'm just going to log this famous characters. Save this. Now you can see what I have accessed. I have just accessed my array. Okay, famous character array. This is my entire array of object. Using array destructuring, I have just taken that object outside the array. Now here, using this object destructuring, I have taken famous property outside of this object and now I am having access to my array. Now inside this array, we will be performing all this operation inside this famous characters. Okay, till now, I hope you are clear with this concept. Now from this array, I just want to access this first two variables. I will just write here const and inside this I will write primary character and I am going to write secondary character. Okay, only for object you should be having exactly same name as property, but for arrays we do not need that one. Okay, we are directly removing the elements and we are assigning it to this variables. Now this will be equal to my array which we have destructured from object. This will be equal to my array. Now here I'm just going to log this one, primary character, and below this I'm just going to log the secondary character. Save this. Now you can see I got Mickey and Minnie. Instead of writing index numbers and all those stuff, you can directly destructure and you can get the result. And now you might be having a question. Now you have destructured only these two elements. Will this mutate my original array? Will this change my original array? It will not change. Let me just log this one. Famous characters. Save this. Again, you are going to get the same result. Whatever you got here, famous character, exact same result you will be getting. It is not going to mutate or change our original array. We are just destructuring some parts and we are just displaying in our result. So what it will do, whatever variables we are giving, based on the order, these values will be assigned to these variables, and when we display, according to that, we will be getting the result. So here we have Mickey. So Mickey will be assigned to this. So when we display primary, we got the result as Mickey. So similar way, Minnie will be assigned to this secondary character, and when we displayed for secondary character, we got the result as Minnie. So everything will be done in order in array destructuring. But it was not the case in object destructuring. In object destructuring, we can destructure the elements in random order as well. So now let us consider our second case. When student is absent, what teacher will be doing? She will be marking it as absent and she will just move forward. So now similar way, now instead of Minnie, I just want to display Pluto. I do not want this one. But in arrays, everything will be happening in order. So let me just comment this one. I will just write here creating whole. I will paste. Now primary character is Mickey. Minnie I do not want to display. Directly I just want to go to Pluto. But when we do this, it will not happen. Here if I write tertiary character, then I can easily display Pluto. But what I do not want to display Minnie. So what I can do, I will remove this. So for this what I can do, I just have to put here comma. Basically what I have done, let me just increase the size. Primary character, comma, I have just left one space for this Minnie. I will not be printing this one. Now secondary character will be treated as Pluto. Basically, I have just created one hole here. Now instead of Mickey and Minnie here, now see what you will be getting the result. You will get Mickey and Pluto. Now after this secondary, you do not want one, you do not want Goofy, and also you do not want this one, and finally you want this character. Again I am going to put, I will just write some test. I will write here log and I will just write here test. Save this. Now you can see I will be getting the result. So if you want to skip anything, based on that you have to give here commas. That will be skipped. Basically that will be creating a hole, and accordingly you can display the result. Here I am having one hole, one element will be skipped. Here I am having two holes. After this Pluto, two elements will be skipped, and finally whatever variable name we give here, this element will be assigned to this one. So for this reason, we will be creating whole while doing array destructuring. So now why this is important? Okay, as I mentioned, whenever we are dealing with larger API data, sometimes you do not want to access all the variables, you do not want to destructure it, and you do not want to use inside the project. So you can simply create holes and whichever element or whichever value you want to use in your project, you can easily use that and you can get the result. So this is very important concept. If you want to skip any element inside the array while restructuring, you simply have to create the whole by just writing here commas. Now let's talk about mutating or swapping elements. I will just write here mutating or swapping. This is cartoon data. Maybe in some episode Minnie is there, Mickey is not there. So that time Minnie should be treated as primary character. And if Minnie is not there and only Mickey is there, that time Mickey should be treated as primary character. So now in arrays, whatever first value we are having, only that will be treated as primary, secondary, okay? Whatever names you want, you can give, but this will be the first one, this will be the second one. Now what I want, in place of Mickey, I just want Minnie, and in place of Minnie, I want Mickey. So we will see how to change this one and how to swap this. So before that, let us do using normal way. I will be creating three variables. M is equal to 8, whatever variables name, only for explanation. I will be separating by comma. I will give n is equal to 9, and finally I am just going to write temp. Below this, first I will be assigning temp to m. So m value 8 will be assigned to temp now. Now here let me just write. Now temp is 8. Now I will do m is equal to n. So now what I have done, m is equal to 9. Value of n is 9. So m will be given as 9. Finally, I will just assign temp back to n. So now here what I will be getting, n is equal to 8. So value of temp is 8. So now that will be assigned to n. So now you can see m is 8, n is 9. After swapping this one, m has become 9 and n has become 8. Let me just prove to you. Log. I will write m, n. Save this. Now you can see 9 and 8. Now I will get the result as 9, 8. If I just display here m, n. Save this. I will get 8, 9. In similar way, I just have to swap this two elements. Minnie has to come here, Mickey has to come here. So in arrays, how we can do this? So again, before going into our example, let us consider simple example here. I will write here let array 1, this will be equal to 4 and 5. Okay, this is my array. Inside this I am having two elements 4 and 5. Now I am just going to destructure. How we will be doing? I will just create separate variables and I will be assigning to my array. Now if I just display this one, log m comma n, save this. Now I will get 4 and 5. M will be 4 and n will be 5. Now we are not going to do all this stuff directly. In array restructuring, we are having a simple trick and it is very easy and sometimes it is very, very important. Now, maybe you are thinking 4 is assigned to m and 5 is assigned to n. So now, even if I write like this, let me just show you n comma m. Save this. Then also you can see my n remains 5 and m remains 4. You can see 4 will be treated as m and 5 will be treated as n. There is no, okay, it has not mutated or it has not changed. Based on their position, they have displayed their correct values. Okay, so in arrays, now we are going to apply that trick. I will just swap this one, n, m. Now this, I am just going to assign it to my destructured array. And here I will not be using any const, any let or any var. Here I have already declared this one separate variables. Now I do not want to redeclare them. So what I have done, inside this destructured array, I have just assigned the reverse value. Okay, here I am having mn. Inside this, I have just written nm. Now I will just write here log. Now if I just display m and n, now you can see, okay, let me just comment to this one. Now you can see m is assigned as 4, the second value, and n is assigned as first value. Before that, what I was having, my m was 4 and n was 5. Now we have changed this one. Okay, they are in the same position. You can see mn, but the values are swapped. In array, we are just doing this simple trick. We are just assigning this one in reverse order. Okay, you just have to remember, you do not have to focus much on this. Whenever you want to do swapping, after writing this, after destructuring, again you just have to swap, you have to reverse and you have to assign. Okay, let me comment it out. Now again let us take this example. Below this I will be pasting. So again I just have to reverse this one. So what we will do, copy paste is equal to again copy paste, but now we have to reverse this one here. After equal to symbol, we will be reversing. First we will give secondary, then we will give primary. I will save this. Okay, now I got this error, assignment to a constant variable. So here what you can do, you can just simply change it to let, save this. Now you can see, okay, let me just comment to this one. Now if you notice here, primary is Mini and secondary is Mickey. So we are just doing the same thing. We are just reassigning this one. We are just reversing the values and we are displaying. And using that, we can easily swap the elements present inside our array. Okay, you can do for all the things. If you want to completely reverse, then also you can just access all the elements. You can destructure for every element and you can easily swap those things. Now we will see how to add methods inside this one. Adding methods. Now inside this array, I will be adding one method. Okay, this is my object. Inside this object itself, I will just write here char name. This will be equal to function and this will be taking two parameters, character 1 and character 2. And here I just want to display some data, log. Inside template literals, I will be telling most lovable characters are. Now I just want to display this data, Mickey and Minnie. Now inside this function, I should be getting access to that one. Now inside this array, I am having object. Inside object, I am having this famous character. So first what I will be doing, first I will be writing this. Now this will be pointing to my object in which I am defining this method. Okay, now this will be treated as this one. Okay, this entire object dot. Now from this I will be accessing famous character and here I will be giving this index character 1. And after this similar way, let me just copy. Here I will be pasting. Before this I will be pasting and here I will give character 2. And also if you want to see what is this, I will just write here this as well, only to show you the result. Now what we have to do, we have to call this. Here only I am just going to call cartoon data. Now my cartoon data is nothing but it is an array. So if I directly access this method and inside this, if I just write here 0, 1, save this, I will be getting this error. Cartoon data, char name is not a function because this is my array. Inside this, I am having only one single object. So first, I should be accessing my object. So here I will be giving 0th index. Inside that, I am just accessing my method. So now if you see here I got object for this, which is nothing but my object. Okay, this entire object. Inside that, I have accessed famous character 1. Famous character, I have given this argument as 0. Famous character 0, that is Mickey. And here 1 I have given famous character 1. I will be getting this Minnie. So based on this, I will be getting the result. But here I will cut it from here. Now below this, if I just paste this one, below this I will paste. Now I'll save this. Okay, now also I am getting the result. But here I have already restructured my array. From there, I have already accessed this one. So directly, instead of writing this, I can just write here data, save this. Then also, I will be getting same result. Okay, now here, simply what I have done, I have just displayed one simple console. Manually, I am giving this result and I am getting. But I am not performing any restructuring inside this function. Inside this function also, it is possible. So here what I will do, I will just comment this one. Now this function will be returning array. What it is returning? Array of options. I will just copy this one. This entire thing I will copy. Character 1. And here I do not have to give this dollar symbol. We are not writing any template literal. I will close this square bracket, comma. Again, I am just going to copy this one. Here I will be pasting. So basically what I am doing, whatever I have just displayed in console, I am just returning inside this array. You can see this is my array. Inside that, I am just returning two values. So this will be giving Mickey and this will be giving Minnie. I will just write here character 1 and here I will be writing character 2. Now directly if I just write like this, I will not be getting any result in console because we are not displaying anything. So I will write here log. I will copy same thing. And inside this, I'm just going to paste. So now you can see I have got array of two elements, Mickey and Minnie, using this method because this method is returning array. Inside this, using this, I got first element and using this, I got second element and both are wrapped inside this array. So basically, this method is returning two elements inside the array. Now if you notice here, this is an array. So easily we can destructure it. So here, this is returning array. So easily what we can do, we can just destructure. Let me just comment this out. I will copy this one. This will be returning array. So what I can do, I will just write here const. Here I will just write char1, char2. Now below this, I will just display char1, char2. Save this. Now you can see easily we destructured and we got this result. Okay, it will take some time to understand the concept. Do not get confused or do not be in the loop if you're not understanding. Practice this one, practice multiple times, then you will get all the concepts in your mind. And later on, when you're working in bigger project, then this concept will be very helpful and you will be confident enough to use these concepts in your project. Now there are two more concepts left. Let me just show you. Now we are going to see how to deal with nested arrays. Here I will write one square bracket and here also I will be writing. Now this is nothing but this is nested array and this entire thing I will comment it out. Save this. Now you can see I have Mickey and Minnie. Inside this I am having another array. So now my famous character, I will come down. I will just comment this entire thing. First, I just have to destructure this one, and from there, I'm just getting my famous character. So, this also, these two lines I will keep. I have destructured array, and from that, I am destructuring my object. So, now when I displayed famous character, inside this, I am having three elements. But here, if you notice, I am having another array. So, inside this, I am having all these elements. Now, how to destructure this one? So first, let me just write here. I will just write simple characters A, B, and C. This will be equal to famous characters log. I will get A, B, C. Save this. Now you can see A is this one. A, I have destructured. I got the value for A as Mickey. For B, I got this one. But for C, I got this complete array. Now this also I want to destructure, and I just want to take all the elements outside of this array. Comment this one, paste it here. Now my C is array. For array destructuring, we will be using square brackets. Inside this, I can just destructure. I am having 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I can write C, D, E, F. Save this. Now you can see Mickey, Minnie, Pluto. Successfully, I am able to get this Pluto. Now if I just display D, E, F, then I will be getting all the elements. Finally, I will be displaying another one. Save this. Now you can see all the elements I am able to access. So what you have to do, only you have to understand array destructuring. C was an array, and how we destructure array, we just put square bracket, and inside that how many elements we are having, that many characters we can write, and we can just access that one. Okay, this is how we will be dealing with this one. Now if you do not want this E and F, so what you have to do, you just have to leave this spaces. Save this, and here I will remove EF. Save this. Now you will be getting the result. So here I am having two spaces, 0, 1. Second and third element will be removed from this array. You can see this is the second and this is the third that is removed, and we will display the last result. Let me just increase. You can see this and this is removed. So this will be displayed, last one. Now suppose imagine you have given one more letter here and you are just displaying it here. These many elements are not present inside my array. So I will be getting the result as undefined. So what we can do, whenever we are getting data from API, sometimes some properties or some methods will be very important to us. But at starting, they will not be having any value, or maybe they will not be defined in that API. So starting, what we can do, we can set the default values for them. Now here I can just write main characters. Okay, I have just done equal to, and for this I have just assigned main characters. Now instead of undefined, if I just save this one, now I will get main characters in place of H. Whenever you want to access some important data, but if you do not want to show undefined or error, if that data is not existing, so starting only you can set the default value. Now G is there. Now if for G, if I just write here apple, save this. Now again you can see I will be getting the previous result itself, because for this one the data is already present inside my element, so this will be ignored. It will be treated as it is not given any default value. If I am not having any element assigned to this G, then apple will be displayed in place of this data. Okay, this is all about array restructuring. Practice this one. If you're having any doubts, you can comment down your doubts. You can let me know if I am too slow or too fast, so that accordingly I can reduce my speed or increase my speed. That's all for this session. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.